Don't be fooled by the cuteness of this puzzle. It was way more challenging than it looks. So the Wheel of Fortune picked 4 puzzles for the community poll. You voted, and the winner is Puppies by Debbie Cook, as published by the brand Anatolian. So I will walk you through my process assembling this puzzle, and I will share some of my tricks for completing a difficult puzzle, especially when they look sweet and innocent and turn out to be quite stubborn. At first glance, this puzzle feels cozy and calm, but looks can be deceiving. It took me 10 hours and 26 seconds to finish. For reference, typically I finish an easy puzzle in under 6 hours, medium ones in 6 to 8 hours, and anything above that will earn a spot in the challenging category, and this one definitely qualifies. So before we go into the tips for a challenging puzzle, I would just make one important note, and that is I don't pre-sort my pieces. A lot of puzzlers love separating by color or pattern or object, but for me, that just adds stress. I've mis-sorted pieces too many times, and then I'm hunting through the wrong pile for something that should be there right in front of me, and it's just not there. So that's why I keep every single piece visible. So all the tips that I'm sharing in this video are based on that approach. No piles, no categories, just everything laid out and ready. So tip number 1 is basically a 2-part tip. The process of elimination, and then hand in hand with that is mental victories. One of the best early strategies is shrink the puzzle mentally. The very first row on the top is the wallpaper and the green curtains. Once I took out those pieces and I assembled it, it's just one row. I already placed about 50 pieces, and that left me with only about 950 pieces to go. So saying 950 pieces instead of 1000 might not seem like a big deal, but it makes a surprising difference. It feels like progress, and that keeps momentum going. So eliminate what you recognized. If you can assemble them, do that, because then immediately you have a small victory. You've got less pieces to consider. And by eliminating, it could also mean that you take out pieces that you recognized, even if you don't assemble them immediately. But that's a handful of pieces you don't have to consider for the rest of the puzzle until you get to that. The second tip, and it might seem obvious, but every piece has detail, even if it doesn't look like it. Some pieces, especially in the fur and the quilt, it looks blank at first, but if you stop and really look, there's always something. A slight texture shift, a faint highlight, or a brush stroke in different directions. The longer you look at pieces, the more detail pops up. Trust me. If you're stuck, slow down, zoom in with your eyes, and treat every piece like it does have a clue, because it probably does. Tip number 3 is change your view, and that goes hand in hand with every piece has detail. When you're really stuck, physically get up. Looking at the piece from a standing position or a new angle can suddenly make pieces click, literally and mentally. Once you look at them on a different angle, detail will start to pop up that you didn't see at first glance. A different perspective helps more than you think. Try it next time you hit a wall. Tip number 4, walk away. Seriously, just do it. There's a point in this puzzle where my brain was just done. I stepped away and left it overnight. The next day, pieces that felt impossible the night before fell into place instantly. Never underestimate the power of fresh eyes. If you're stuck, take a break, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. Come back with fresh eyes. It's not quitting, it's part of the process. Tip number 5, and that is something that most of you already use piece shape to your advantage. When the color or the detail on the pieces fails, shape can save you. This puzzle did not have such a big variety of piece cuts. There was a couple of whimsical pieces, not as whimsical as the wooden puzzles, but still joyful and playful enough that it helps. There was about 3 more piece shapes that's not the standard 2 ins and 2 outs. At some point, I took those out and put them to the side. And when I saw, okay, I've got what I refer to as a castle piece, and there's only like 6 or 7 left, I could quickly find the castle piece that goes into that specific spot. And that brings us again to the mental victories. So I got a piece very fast, and that helps to boost confidence that the puzzle is not that impossible. A lot of pieces had a very distinct prongs and knobs, which means that even if I wasn't sure about the image, the shape itself narrowed things down. So don't just look at the art, look at the geometry. But that's the 5 tips I've got for you. Another thing that I noted with especially difficult puzzles is the missing piece meltdown. And yes, like every puzzler, I was obviously convinced a piece was missing. That one year in the dog's ear, I checked the entire table 10 times. It wasn't there until magically it was. If that's happened to you, and let's be honest, it probably has, let me know in the comments so that we can suffer together. And then just a little side note on the artist. It's Debbie Cook. Her art always brings a sense of warmth and a story. This scene is no different. Each puppy has a personality and the colors are soft without being dull. And a shout out to the hidden cat among the puppies. It's a great little touch and adds charms and a bit of cheek. I was quite surprised to find the cat there. And then the brand Anatolian, I wasn't planning on doing a brand review for this video, but yeah, I enjoy the quality of this one. It's not a very tight fit. I think this one might suffer on the pickup challenge, but the pieces fit snug enough for me to enjoy. There was a little bit of a gloss on the puzzle pieces, not as much that I didn't enjoy it at all. And then, yeah, like I said, the cut was definitely a variety in the prongs and knobs. I didn't have false fit. So, all in all, not the best quality in the market, but I consider this good enough for an enjoyable puzzle. I've got a couple of them in my collection, and it's definitely a brand I buy if I get my hands on them. So it's always good when a puzzle lets you focus on the challenge and not the manufacturing, and Anatolian did that for me. That was Puppies by Debbie Cook by the brand Anatolian, and this one definitely surprised me. So if you like a challenge that is visibly pleasing, I definitely recommend this one. So don't forget to watch out for the next deep dive episode. And then I would just like to ask if you were gaslighted by missing pieces before, because you are definitely not the only one. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I would just like to say thank you for watching. I really, really, really appreciate your time, and take care. I'll see you in the next one.